Greetings, greetings. My name is Dr. Alduan Tartt, and welcome to Better Husband, Better Wife, How to Increase Marital Connection and Intimacy. I invite you to join me for the next 30 to 40 minutes as we talk about how to have better intimacy when it comes to your marriage. Do you remember the days when you just had that connection and you talked all night? Do you remember the first date? Do you remember the times when you were just able to do things as friends and your marriage just felt good? It was effortless to get along. You just connected, you talked to each other, you text back, you called all night, fell asleep on the phone. Let's talk about how to get that back. Because if you can commit to being a better husband and you can commit to being a better wife, then you can have a better relationship. Even if you're just entering into a relationship, you're pre-engagement, you're engaged, or you're married, and you're married with some issues, or even if you are separated. Let's talk about how to get your relationship back into that good place. Well, I know you're figuring out, like, who am I? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Alduan Tartt. I am a Christian psychologist. That means that I am a licensed and trained psychologist, as well as a licensed and ordained minister. I've been a psychologist for 20 years. Also, a licensed and ordained minister over at Word of Faith Family Cathedral here in Atlanta, Georgia, under the leadership of Bishop Dale C. Bronner. I'm a proud graduate of Morehouse College and the youngest African-American to get his PhD, clinical psychology, from the University of Michigan. Go Blue. Also a psychologist for CNN, go-to expert for HLN, Radio One, Ricky Smiley, consultant for the NBA, and formerly, specifically of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I was responsible for actually helping them create one of the first mental health positions full-time in the NBA. So I'm very excited about that, the doors that got open. And also my YouTube channel now has 1.4 million views of people that are looking for relationship advice, for whether it's about better family relationships, dating, engagement, marriage, separation, post-divorce, blended families, you name it, I do it, and I'm excited about it. So I really appreciate you all joining me and just trying to make your relationship better, making it better, and trusting me as your guide. Now, who trusts me? This is just building credibility, y'all, so that y'all know I'm not making these things up. That's me. I consult with the NBA, CNN, the Intelligence for Your Life with John Tesh. 106 in Park, doing a workshop on relationships with my good friends Megan and Devon Franklin, as well as the Mortons, who are a ministry powerhouse. And then I had a show on TV One called Love Addiction. All right. So it's just not me saying that I can do these things. I've been doing these for 20 years and become a go-to and trusted resource for the media. But really, this comes from God downloading in me just a desire and an outright drive to be able to reach as many people as possible to make your relationships better. Now, you know, like most men, I'm married up. This is my beautiful wife, Mecca Tartt. She is the CEO of Best You LLC, which is a company that helps women to make better girlfriends, to make girlfriends and to deepen their relationship with girlfriends, because the research is clear. Women need quality girlfriends in order to feel whole and complete and do life with. She's former executive director of the National Sales Network, where she brought in over $2 million in sales a year. So I'm very proud of her. She's a recipient of the Power 30 Under 30 Award, graduate of CAU, Clark Atlanta University, where my mom also got her doctorate, and a former fitness champion. So, you know, I have to stay silent to keep up with her. And now she's doing her own thing for Best You, so she can bring all that $2 million plus, bring all that Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James money to our household. But the reason I'm showing you all that is I want y'all to know that not only am I a psychologist, I am also married. So I am in this with you as well. This is not just what we think should happen. This is the actual application on how to do it regardless of the different phases of your relationship. And the reason I showed you my wife is that teamwork makes the dream work. We were recently recognized as one of the top 5 influential love experts you need to know when you're tying the knot. And that's because just even since we've been married, and even when we first dated, we came together as underground matchmakers, hooking up our single friends. And I just decided to hook myself up with Mecca because she was fine. Why let her go on an open market when I can lock that down myself? You understand? But God does things like that and puts people together with those same spirits so that we can do what we're doing right now, which is to empower couples to be stronger. If you're single, how to move into a healthy relationship. If you're dating, how to move into commitment. If you're committed and engaged, how to actually have a strong marriage. And if you're married, how to make the necessary perfect adjustments to one another so that you can stand the test of time. So just letting you know that we are glad and honored to be your guides and be able to just make relationships work. But let's dive in. That's enough about me. Listen, for those of you that are not already a part of my email list, just text Tarte to 22828 so you can hear about all the dynamic things that we're doing. Just for signing up, you get 99 scriptures for building a strong, godly marriage. I want you to be on the lookout very soon for a few announcements that are coming, some events that you will want to be a part of. The first one is the Weekend for Love Marriage Retreat. It's happening November 8th through the 10th, 2019 at the Valhalla Resort Hotel, which is the luxury hotel in the Blue Ridge Mountains, nestled right in the beautiful wine country here in Georgia. It's only $850 a couple. It's a weekendforlove.com is where you want to go. We've already sold 25% of the tickets. That's going to go out. We just released that yesterday. That's just been released yesterday, and you'll start to get emails about that. We want to tell you about a Weekend for Love. It's a place for you to get away, just you and your better half to have a honeymoon experience. No kids, no work, all luxury. We have the whole hotel, y'all. It is all going to be for Weekend for Lovers. It is all going to be all of us in the same place. So imagine how awesome it's going to be for you to be in a room full of people fighting for their marriages, improving their marriages, enriching their marriages, being in love. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. You're going to have an opportunity to converse in workshops. It's going to be interactive as far as being able to work on your skills and be better. You're going to laugh a lot. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to have phenomenal food. You're going to have phenomenal activities. And you're going to have time with your better half to be able to have that honeymoon experience again, to really get tight. And if you need specialized services, we'll be there. And we're also going to have a special session on increasing sexual satisfaction in your marriage. That is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to talk about communication, friendship, connection, scheduling dates, how to get on the same page, getting secrets from other couples about how to keep that thing hot, even if you're busy, how to build and have teamwork together. All right, just sign up, go to the website for more information and reserve your spot, because it is going to sell out, because again, the whole hotel is going to be just for Weekend for Love. So go ahead and do that while the discount applies. So then I think it goes up to $950 and then $1050 toward the later that you wait. All right, so let's dive in. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this is my beautiful family. So not only am I married, I'm married, y'all, with kids. So I'm in this. So I have all the issues, all the 13-year-old, a 3-year-old, a professional wife. It's now entrepreneurs. So you have 2 entrepreneurs in the same house, teenager and a 3-year-old. So trust me, y'all, I understand the struggle, and I am here to make things work better for you. All right. I'll be honest, y'all. I want your marriage to feel like this. I mean, look back at some of your pictures when you get a chance at times in which you all were happy, and remember what it felt like and what y'all were doing to make it feel that way. Typically, the blueprint for how you got him or her is the blueprint that you need to keep him or her. And what I know from working with marriages the last 20 years is that a lot of couples deviate away from the dating, deviate away from the quality time, deviate away from the things that actually connected you from total strangers or friends into lovers and eventual purpose partners and being husband and wife. How would it feel to feel like this in your marriage, but not like this? However, we can fix this. Nothing wrong with couples counseling. I do it every day, but I know a lot of you will not have an opportunity to access me or access your counsel. So I want to give you the 3 basic building blocks, the things you need to know to be able to increase connection, intimacy, and friendship in your marriage right now. So let's go. Let's do it, because this feels a lot better, Lord have mercy, than this. So let's get to it. Now, what's wrong with our relationships? I kind of alluded to it earlier. We're not spending enough quality time with one another. We don't date. I see a lot of couples that don't date. I said, when's the last time you've been on a date? Or when is your date night? And just look at each other. But you dated to connect with one another. Some couples dated 4 or 5 times a week. You know, there's no fun and excitement. We need more. You need more fun and excitement. You just can't go to work and come home. I'm talking to you, man. I mean, you can't just take care of the kids and come home. I'm talking to you, ladies. We need some fun and excitement when it comes to your marriage. Keep that thing spicy. Go to a bed and breakfast. Go to hear live music. Go dance. Go do things separately and then come back together and share your world so you can have great conversation. Be able to have stress relief and relaxation by talking to each other about your day. Have phenomenal self-care so that you can be the best husband as you walk in the door, and then you meet the best wife, a better wife, because she's been taking care of herself, and you make your marriage so much easier versus allowing all those things to pile up and then you all take out your drama on one another. Because we need you to have no drama so that you can have teamwork, so you can have that Barack and Michelle, that Megan Good and Devon Franklin, that Russell Wilson and Sierra, that Will and Jada. And I purposely said Will and Jada because they have an alternative lifestyle that works for them. They've been able to re-engineer their marriage to be able to work for them. So it doesn't really matter your style. Only thing that matters is that it works for you. All right? So I've talked to you about what went wrong. Let's go back to the beginning. This is Mecca and I. You can tell we're probably in some club having a good time, listening to good gospel music. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's what was playing. We're having a good time, laughing, smiling. We see this couple cooking together, having a good time. I want y'all to go back and recreate some of your better dates. Go back to some of your first date experience, second date experience, honeymoon experiences, when your marriage or relationship was just humming, and recreate those. Look at the pictures and say, let's get back to this and let's do more of that so that we can reconnect and get back to the blueprint that led us to become lovers. So step number 1, y'all, I said I was going to give you 3 steps, is building love maps. I want you all to talk. I want you to build a map to your partner's head and their heart, because if you know what they're thinking and you know what they're feeling, then you can stay in tune. Our job as partners is to stay in tune with one another, to share each other's world, to do marriage together, to do life together. And we can't do that if we're not connected. It's like a phone. You can be talking to someone, you can talk to someone, and if there's no connection, you can't even hear them. And that's what's happening to a lot of our relationships. We're in the same house. You're sleeping in the same house. Some of you not even in the same bed. Some of you in the same bed, but you're light years away because you've allowed those love maps to fade. So we're going to talk about how to re-engineer those, how to strengthen those. All right, because I want you to create and maintain a system for staying connected. You know, as a married couple, it's really easy for you to ignore one another. One of you's watching Netflix, one of you's watching sports, one of you's on Facebook, one of you's on Instagram. One of you is taking care of the kids, the other is outside, taking care of the lawn. And so while you're around the same house, when does your marriage exist? Like when is it Tarte time? Say your last name. When is it Smith time? When is it Franklin time? When is it Jackson time? When is it? When is it just the two of y'all? I know a lot of times you say we have to take care of the kids and take care of the family, but that comes second. You have to take care of the marriage and then the family in the right order, because if you lose the marriage, then you split and you end up hurting the family. But you can take care of the family and neglect the marriage, and the family's going to fall apart because the two people that are supposed to be on the same page have drifted apart, or allow open windows to happen to where third parties are entering into their relationships. Even those third parties are work, or other people, or hobbies, or activities. We want to make sure that you all are connected to one another. And I want you to do that by building daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly rituals. You should absolutely have a time in your schedule where you are dating that exists above and beyond everything else. Because what you don't focus on will fall apart, and what you put energy into will grow. If I work my biceps will grow. If I work my triceps, they will grow. If I don't work my legs, they will not grow. Matter of fact, they will atrophy. So if you're not working on your relationship, there's no such thing as neutral in a relationship. All right? If your relationship is not getting better, you're not actively doing things for your relationship to get better, it's getting worse. Just like muscles. What I have right now won't be in 2 weeks. if I don't work out. Shoot, it won't be that way in 3 days. All right. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to make sure that you all are committed to doing this. All right. And the scriptures bear that out. I'm actually going to grab a resource very quickly, but the scriptures are very clear. It's no secret that psychology and marriages and couples counseling would follow God's teaching. So what does he say in Psalm 139? He says, "O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my downsitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts from afar. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is no word on my tongue. But lo, O Lord, that you know it's all together." And basically what that is saying that the God knows everything that you're doing. He knows your thoughts. He knows when you wake. He knows when you rise. He knows what you're worried about. He knows what you're excited about because he's in relationship with you. You're in relationship with him. And if we believe that marriage is made in God's likeness, then we'll make sure that our marriages behave the same way, that we're able to share our world with one another, that we're able to connect, that I know what you're thinking. I know your anxieties. I know the opportunities. I know the things that you're praying for. So I want you to study Psalm 139. I want you to study Matthew 6:31. I want you to study 10:30, but I also want you to study, here we go. I want you to study a couple of other scriptures, and this is what you're going to get in the 99 scriptures to a more godly marriage. I want you to study 1 John 4:7. Beloved, let us love one another, for the love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. We want to model godly love with our husband or our wife. Romans 13:8. Owe no one anything except to love one another, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. It's right there. It's telling us, owe one another nothing except for spending quality time together. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. It is in the word. Ephesians 4:2. With all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing one another in love. How can you spell love? Time. How can you love me if we're not spending time together? How can you love me if we're not talking, if we're not love mapping? We can be in the house, all right? That's a noun. We can be married as a noun, or we can be married as a verb, all right? It says here, 1 John 4:11, beloved, if God so loved us, we ought to love one another. Proverbs 27:9, oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from earnest counsel. I mean, is the word not right on this? I mean, I'm just so excited whenever I can help you match the scriptures along with the actual application from Christian psychology. So I want to make sure that you all understand that you have to love map to one another. So let's talk about building rituals, because your marriage can't be random. How many of you, raise your hand, how many of you have random marriages? Raise your hand. What I mean by random marriages is that your date nights are random. Your quality time is random. You wing it. Your quality time, you wing it. And what we know about the best marriages, they don't wing it. They have rituals. They have a system in place. Just like in the NBA, we have a system to make sure that all of our basketball players have access to counseling. We have a system to make sure that they practice. We have a system to make sure that they have resources for anything that they need. We don't leave that up to them to wing it. It is a system, and you have systems in business. You have systems in your house. You have the school is a system. They have when they start and when they finish. You need to have a system when it comes to your marriage. So let's talk about some rituals you can create. Leave taking. That means that when you leave the house, do you kiss one another? What do you do? My wife and I definitely kiss my wife and my daughters before I leave, and they do the same. Same thing with reunions. When you come back and you enter into the house, do you all have a ritual? Do you kiss? Do you connect? Do you talk about your day? Do you eat dinner? Meal times. I know a lot of couples don't eat together. You know, one may go eat in front of the television. The other one may eat in the kitchen while cooking. You didn't do that when you dated. You shared meal times, and meal times are an opportunity for you to not only nourish your stomachs, but to be able to nourish one another's souls, to be able to spend time and connect with one another. All right, what about eating out? You don't always want to eat all your meals at home. You need some variety. Do you have rituals about how often you go out to eat? Do you have an after meal coffee or tea? My wife and I do this. We have tea later in the evening when it's Tarte time. That's usually around 9:30 or 10. Both daughters are down. Phones are not ringing from business. That's just our time to be able to connect and settle into the night. You know, stress-reducing conversation, talking about your day. Hey, listen, talking about bedtimes. How many of you have totally different schedules when it comes to bedtimes? How are you going to make love and connect and have quality time if one of you come to bed at 1 a.m. and the other one's going to bed at 10 a.m.? You are passers in the night. And for those of you that work different shifts, you have to make sure that you have some time to where you all are actually in the bed at the same time. Likewise, morning rituals. There was a pastor that shared with me, the pastor of Maranatha Seventh-day Adventist Church, where we spoke a couple of weeks ago. And I believe in doing workshops of all types of faith because we agree on more than we disagree, especially when it comes to marriage. And the pastor said that he and his wife take a bath every single morning before they leave. You know what I'm saying? So I know church starts late for y'all. All right. But that's their ritual. And when they said it, the rest of the church was like, man, we need something like that. You need rituals on dates and getaways, what you need when one person is sick, celebrations of triumph. My wife just got a major sale today when it comes to her business. So we're going to celebrate that. We're going to do that thing up really big because we just under celebrate life. And the research says that the more that you celebrate, the happier your relationship is going to be. And that's with anything. That's work, that's business, that's kids. That's why you want to celebrate. Even rituals around failure, rituals around hosting, initiating, refusing lovemaking. I know a couple that got tired of being out of tune with one. How many of you know you can be out of tune when one person is asking for lovemaking, the other person doesn't feel like it, and how that thing can just blow up inside with feelings of rejection, especially when right now we need all the love that we can get because this world is brutal. So what this couple did was they got some pillows made. On one side it said tonight, on the other side it said not tonight. And when they came home, they turned the pillows over. So if they see tonight, two matching tonights, they know what's going down. Now I know for my wife, whenever I walk in the house and I see candles lit, I already know that girlfriend is ready to see me in a very special way. So that's one of the things that she knows to cue me. It's not going to be about the NBA tonight. If we're going to be playing basketball, it's going to be with Mecca. You understand what I'm saying? So that might be a little too graphic, but y'all get what I'm saying, all right? Vacations, you need a vacation. You need to get away. You need to try to celebrate your anniversary, your honeymoon, your quarterly, as much as you can. Quarterly, yearly, you need to do something where you and your better half can exist. No kids. You can have a family vacation. We just took one. But you also need to have some time with just you and your sweetheart. I don't care if you have to have a staycation. My wife and I have had a staycation here in Atlanta, Georgia, where we went and stayed at a hotel downtown and walked around the city like we were tourists, all right? How you celebrate anniversaries, how you celebrate birthdays, all right? And make sure that you also are setting up a date night, y'all. Make sure that you have a consistent date night on the schedule on your phone so that you don't have to wing it. If you know that every Thursday or every Tuesday lunch, I met two dentists and they said every Wednesday they stop what they're doing around noon and they spend noon until 4 o'clock until it's time to pick the kids up dating. They stop their practices. They close their office so that they can have time to commit to one another with no kids. That's how creative you have to be to make sure that your marriage is always getting oxygen, because we have such high expectations for our marriages, but we're not giving them enough oxygen. How are you going to have a good marriage with no quality time, no love making, no laughing, no excitement, no dates? That doesn't work. And here's step number 2, because I'm really trying to keep this within 30 minutes. Share fondness and admiration, okay? Share 3 things that you appreciate about your partner within the last 24 hours, my friends. Why? Because we need to hear it every day. So that means that sometimes we get out of practice with saying fond things to our spouse. We get out of practice. You know, we think it, but we don't say it. So I want you to verbalize the 3 things that you really appreciate that they've done in the last 24 hours and do that daily. I also want you to kiss more. The research shows we don't kiss and we don't touch enough as married couples. You know, I think in other couples in Spain, I think they did a survey and they found like in a 2-hour date, average couple touched each other over 100 times. They did the same thing here in America, and they found that the average couple only touches like 3 times during a date. Isn't that amazing? All right, so we have to get back to touching, and that means that we have to touch and connect outside of lovemaking. You know, when's the last time you held your wife's hand? When's the last time you stroked your husband's head? When's the last time you just nestled, you know, into his chest, or wrapped your arm around your girl, or rubbed on her knee and not tried to make love? We need to touch. We are pack animals. We are connection oriented. You can take care of a baby and give the baby food and water and warmth and shelter, but if you don't touch that baby dies. And our marriages are dying because we are so desperate to be touched. We can be in the same house and not touch one another. So I want to make sure that you're touching and being affectionate and connecting to one another, because when you connect, you create chemicals. That's what this whole thing about the 6-second kiss is that 6 seconds is enough for you to create the hormones, adrenaline, because you get excited, vasopressin in men, oxytocin in women that make you want to cuddle, that make you want to be sexually intimate. So I challenge you to have a 6-second kiss upon arrivals and departures. Some of y'all gonna be late for work, or you're gonna be glad that you got home. It's okay. I know couples that have not kissed like that outside of sex in years, and I need y'all to get back to passionate kissing to stay connected, so that you can create a culture of expressing love verbally and consistently and physically. And just a quick note, a kind of little commercial for Body Talk, which is about increasing sexual satisfaction and marital intimacy. You'll get an email about that. That is actually coming up before the Weekend for Love, a Weekend for Love retreat. It's called Body Talk, which is a great date night extravaganza where we make it real sexy for you. We cultivate a great atmosphere, and we talk to you about ways you can increase sexual intimacy. And then you have a time to turn to your partner and talk about the things that you want based on what's presented. And it's hot and it's spicy and it's fun. Last time we did the event, the husbands kept coming back like, can I keep these feathers? Yeah, because we have you experience touch. It's done in the classy way, but it's definitely done in a way to bond you closer to one another. All right? So one of the things we want to talk to you about touch, a little quick commercial, is you're not doing enough foreplay. Just give you a little taste of what you're going to get. What we know is that in order to have the best lovemaking, you need to extend lovemaking at least 8 to 10 minutes at a minimum. We need extended foreplay. That means just touching, graduated touching, from non-erotic touch to erotic touch to talking to caressing, and then moving into various forms of lovemaking. And you should not move into actual lovemaking until you are stimulated at least an 8 out of a 10, according to the research. Why? That's going to increase your stamina. It's going to increase your libido. It's going to increase your ability to please one another. It's going to increase the feeling of anticipation, excitement, and pleasure. And that's what we're looking for in our relationships, right? So what does it say about this in the word before I go too far? Proverbs 16:24, kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. It's right there. Romans 12:10, love each other with genuine affection, and take delight in honoring one another. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7, you know about that. Love is patient, love is kind. Look that up on your own. But what about Proverbs 25:11? A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. I'm going to read that one again. Proverbs 25:11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. It's telling you, I need to hear that I still get it done. I need to hear that you still find me sexy. I need to hear that you still laugh at my jokes. I need to hear that I'm still interesting to you. I need you to sit and listen to me like you did on your first date and just laugh at my stories and ask follow-up questions, y'all. Ephesians 5:28. Ephesians 5:28. There is no first Ephesians. I'm not Donald Trump. I just have the number one by it. All right. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He loves his wife, loves himself. Right there. I mean, you don't really need to have the submission conversation. If you are loving your wife the way you love yourself, All right. I mean, she's taken care of. Ephesians 5:33. However, let each one of you love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. It fits. You're taking care of your wife's going to take care of you. And then 5:14, 1 Peter 5:14, greet one another with a kiss of love. Peace to all who are in Christ. And y'all think I'm making up the 6-second kiss. It says it right there in 1 Peter 5:14, greet one another with a kiss of love. But it's no surprise that the scripture would lead the science, y'all. I'm telling you. So I'm so excited for y'all to be able to study those scriptures and put them into place. And you know, this is what you did. How many times did you kiss when y'all dated? I know you kissed. I know you touched. I know you rubbed on his shoulders. I know you rubbed her back. I know you looked at her. I know you told her she was sexy. I know you told her it was fine. I know you told him that he was ambitious and strong. Get back to doing those things. Get back to what bonded you, and you're going to have a stronger marriage before you know it. All right, and then step number 3, listen to one another deeply. What we need is some depth. We don't need just superficial conversations. Married couples have the most boring conversations when we record them and look at them. Honey, how was your day? Did you pick the kids up? Did you pay the bills? What time is the game? What are we going to watch? All you know how to do is talk about your kids. Have you ever been at dinner and you're just looking at your phones because you don't know what to say to one another? Oh my goodness. I mean, we have to get back to having some juicy conversations and have some depth, because that's what we need. I need you to feel me. If you're married to me, feel me. And that's what's called turning towards one another. Respond to bids for attention. A bid for attention is like, babe, you're never going to believe what happened in the NBA today. Now, my wife doesn't like sports like that, but she should turn to me and say, what happened in the NBA? I'm going to say, Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers and not the Lakers and got Paul George to get out of his contract at Oklahoma City, which I know about, all right? Oklahoma City, and come to the Clippers. Oh, my, that has totally changed the landscape of things for Oklahoma City. Turn towards that. And if she wants to say, babe, I have this show on Netflix that I just love. It's called Zoo by your favorite author. My favorite author is James Patterson, and it's great. I was like, what is it about? I haven't actually read Zoo. All right. I've read Women's Murder Mystery, Women's Murder Club. I've read Alex Cross, Honeymoon, 1 and 2. I read all that stuff. I read the stuff for middle schoolers, and my daughter and I read together. Crazy House, stuff like, but I don't know. Tell me about it. See, I'm tuning in. No distractions, no Facebook, no phone, no working. I'm not typing. I'm not texting. I'm not exercising. I'm just sitting there listening to my wife, and she's listening to me, and we're responding to each other's bids for attention. You have to be borderline Oprah and open up, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in a second, because you want to build intimacy and listen deeply to your partner. No advice, no giving opinions. You just want to support. You just want to listen. You want to make your husband or your wife feel like the most interesting person in the world. And you want to take turns doing that. You should both feel like, man, I'm getting so much attention, so much affection, so much time. The fact that you listen to me is a love language. You feel me? And what's it say in the scripture? It says, Matthew 7:12, do to others what you like them to do to you. This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets. This is basically saying, if I'm going to listen to you and be interested in your world, be interested in my world, and do it with enthusiasm, zest, and zeal. All right. 1 Thessalonians 2:8. We loved you so much that we shared not only with you God's good news, but our own lives too, man. If y'all don't think that the word is living and breathing manna, I don't know what to tell you. Philippians 2:2. Complete my joy by being of the same mind, having the same love, being in full accord and of one mind. Man, it's right there. How you gonna be of one mind if you're not talking and connecting deeply? How do you really know what's going on with your partner? John 15:13. Greater love has no one than someone laid down his life for his friends. It's right there, y'all. It is literally right there. Proverbs 18, verses 20 and 21. From the fruit of a man's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is satisfied by the yield of his lips. Death and fire are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. This is talking about conversation and connection. I don't know what else I could do. What about James 1:22? Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Be doers of the word. I want your marriage to be a verb. I want your dates to be set. I want you to do date night. I want you to do conversation. I want you to do turning towards. I want you to do love mapping. I want you to do appreciations and validations. Do you understand me? I don't want to start preaching on y'all, but when we start doing those things, man, just think about how good and how secure you feel in your marriage when your spouse is talking to you and paying attention and hanging on to every word. Now, there's 3 skills to how to do this, and we'll wrap up. 3 skills of an intimate conversation I want to teach you. Number 1 is putting your feelings into words, not your thoughts, but your feelings. Number 2 is asking questions to go deeper, gain clarity, use exploratory statements. Get her, know him, get him, feel him, get clarity. Don't try to agree. Let me get what you're saying, babe. Let me understand this from the way you're talking about it. And then express empathy and understanding and even validate if you can. I can totally see how you feel that way. That's how you build connection. That's how you build the bottom layers foundation of a house so that you can feel better about your marriages. If you're not doing these 3 steps, if you're not love mapping, if you're not sharing fondness and admiration, you're not turning towards one another and having intimate conversations on a regular basis, the chances are you feel negatively about where your marriage is. On the flip side, if you are, you feel great about it. And if not, go ahead and do these things and you're going to feel good about your marriage again. So let me break these down. All right, feelings into words. One of the things that I share with couples, and they're really appreciative when they come in and like, Doc, how do we talk about these things and have the best conversation that we've had in the last 3 months in your office, but we can't do it at home? You know, and they'll try to say, man, you know, you did this. I say, no, you followed the format. First of all, what you did was you spoke in terms of feelings, not thoughts. All right, because we can say, I feel like you should work less. Well, I feel like I should work more. I feel like we should go on more dates outside the house. I feel like a date is anytime we're in the same room spending time with each other. And nobody cares what you think. You can argue all day and then you try to persuade one another and talk about whose idea is right or wrong. You crash and burn. Marital masters don't do that. They talk in terms of feelings. I feel accepted. I feel understood. I feel abandoned. I feel bitter. I feel tired. I feel exhausted. I feel angry. I feel alone. I feel upset. I feel belittled. I'm horny. Girl, I want to be with you. I have mixed feelings. On one part, I want to save money for our kids' college tuition. On the other hand, I want to go on vacations because we haven't had one in so long, and I really need to spend time with you and get away and relax. Be able to talk feelings when you talk, because I do care about how you feel. I care that you feel angry. I care that you feel exhausted. You care that I feel alone. You care that I feel apprehensive. You care about that. But I don't really care about how you think, what you think. I care an awful lot about how you feel. So let's make sure the first things that come out your mouth are I feel. And then when your partner is sharing how they feel, ask questions to understand. This is your Oprah moment. Y'all want to be Oprah Winfrey? Go ahead and open them up. Peel them like layers to an onion. Open them up. Deflower them to get to the corner, get to the center of where they are. You know, why? What are you feeling? What else are you feeling? Tell me what you need right now. I mean, these are things that can take a conversation from surface level to deep. Tell me what you think your choices are. I understand that you feel like the work is stressing you, but you're not sure what to do next. Tell me what you think your choices are. All right, and then they'll open up. You see what I'm saying? Well, you know what? I think I might need to start going on Indeed.com and looking. I think I might start networking. I think I might give myself 2 more years and see if I like it. If not, start thinking about a pivot. You know, ask the question, what do you really wish for? What would you really like to say, and to whom? How does the situation change you? How did what I did to you change you? How has that changed the way you view our marriage? For better, for worse? What is it that you really need me to get or do? That's critical. How do you wish things would be resolved? So I get you're upset. I get that you feel upset, betrayed. What do you need me to do to make this better or to resolve this? You know, what are your goals here? What would you really like to ask of me? You see when we're asking these questions, we're able to have a more intimate conversation. I hope this is blessing you all. If this is blessing y'all, please let me know. Shoot me an email. Let me know this was beneficial, because this makes me want to do more of these. These are the things you want to do to open up. And then part 3 is express empathy. You're making total sense. You're in a tough spot here. I support your position. Poor baby. I mean, you had to work in that warehouse, man, with no heat. The AC was off, and they were tripping on you having water bottles on the floor, which is true. It's crazy. No wonder you're upset. Man, that's scary to get a call from your mom in the hospital and her tell you what's going on with her. That is scary. When we just saw it last week, I understand how you feel. Wow, that must have hurt. I think you're right. I would have been disappointed by that too. You put everything you have at work, and then to promote the person you train, I would have trouble coping with that. See, these are expressions of empathy. Letting your partner know that I feel you, I'm with you, I'm together, I'm your better half. Ecclesiastes 4:9. 2 is better than 1. They get better return for their labor. I'm right here with you. I'm in this. I'm laboring and celebrating with you. These are the things that we need to do. These are the things that you did when you were dating. These are the things you did when your marriage was on 9 or a 10. And these are the things that you need to continue to do consistently to make sure that you build up a bank account, it feels like $1 million+ so that when you have those rough storms and you have to make those withdrawal conversations about how many kids to have, about finances, about parenting, about quality time, whatever it is, you can handle that without going into the negative. A lot of couples I see don't really have as many issues as they think. They have a connection issue that's causing all the rest of this. But once we strengthen the connection, which is why I'm teaching you this, and then they're able to rebuild their marriage and handle some of the tough conversations. Because you really can't handle conflict unless you like one another. See, that's what these things are all built so that you like one another and your friendship is close. Think about your best friend. Your best friend, if you all like each other, y'all can have a tough conversation about things that need to change because your foundation is solid. What we do in marriage is that we try to rely on this like it's a historical thing. We got married way back in the day and we think that it's going to feel. No, the fact that you got married back in the day has nothing to do with how you feel today. You have to keep stoking that fire to keep that fire lit. You have to keep conversing. You have to keep going on marriage retreats. You have to do things to empower and grow and strengthen your relationship, just like your body. Your marriage is not going to feel good if you're not doing things to make it feel good. Sorry, y'all, I got a little excited. All right. So I hope this was helpful, y'all. All right. These are the things that I want you all to do. Be able to go back to what it is that you did to get one another and continue to do that to build a strong relationship. If you're dating, you're engaged, you now have the blueprint. This is something you need to do on a consistent basis. This is your DNA. This is your structure. This is your modus operandi. This is how you do it. This is how you do marriage. This is how you keep this thing lit. And I think a lot of you are going to look back at this and say, this is not complicated stuff. Doc is not teaching us these super complicated techniques. These are things that we know we should be doing. We just don't do it. Baby, let's do it right now. If you're separated, pick up the phone right now in the spirit and call your better half and say, babe, I just saw something I want you to watch. Share the link and let's start doing these things. I really want to work things out. I just did not know what to do, or I forgot what we did. All Doc is doing is reminding us of what we did to make this thing strong. All right, y'all. So I hope this has been helpful. If you all want to book me to teach in your church, organization, events, media, let me know. There's my booking information. There's my email. There's my phone number if you want me to speak. There's my YouTube channel that I reference that has over 1.4 million views. It has a whole bevy of videos in there, but you're going to get the best videos by being in my email list, because I don't post everything on YouTube because I want my list to get special things. And then, of course, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. That's where all the action happens. And if you want to check my website, it's drtart.com. And I realize some of you want to book my wife. All right, y'all understand. I'll book us together. There's her booking information. If you want to find out more about Best You and how to develop quality girlfriends, hit her up on Instagram, Facebook. There's a website, speaking. She also handles my speaking calendar. She's my manager, y'all, right now. We probably have to turn it over soon because of the requests that we're getting and the growth in the other side of our business, or her business, So hit us up and let us know. It would be an honor to guide you, an honor to serve you. And we do this on a regular basis throughout the year because we believe in strengthening marriages. We believe in standing in the gap. We believe that marriages can grow and they will prosper, and that God can do anything. He can turn negative situation and make it work for the greater good. You understand what I'm saying? He could do things. He could turn. He can use the book of Judges, y'all. He can have people come and harden hearts and be able to save the people of Israel with judges. All right. Even though they kept turning away, he can make things work for the greater good so that later on Joshua can come and guide the people. You understand? Guide the people into the promised land. You understand? After years and years and years of just backsliding and forgetting about God and doing things and being with the Canaanites. But it's not a sermon right now, y'all. All right, y'all know y'all word. Oh, you know your word. If not, you can go ahead and read about it. But we thank you for our guys. And again, I want to remind you about a Weekend for Love marriage retreat. Your marriage is not going to feel better unless you do something to make it feel better. Why don't you just follow us? We've already hacked this thing for you. We've hacked into this and hacked in. Yep, going to have fun. Going to drive up and be like, this place is nice. I'm already getting a little taste of heaven. You're going to rock right into fun, interactive exercises that are designed to get you to, you see what we're going to do. You're going to be able to actually do that and converse and have stimulating best conversations you've had with a backdrop of wonderful wilderness, 5-star service, phenomenal food around other couples who are strengthening and enriching their marriage. Do you understand the energy that's in the room at these things? And then you're going to have time to hike and partake in the local wineries. I mean, the city is ready for you. They're excited about this. And then you're going to have time, because we're not going to go all day. We're going to make sure that you have time to just kind of relax, enjoy that beautiful room. I mean, this is a luxury place without, and then they have villas around it if you want to get a little privacy. You can do it however you want to do it, y'all. And it's just $850 a couple on weekendforlove.com. All right, y'all. So I'm so excited to be your guide. I thank you for spending your time. You could be anywhere else, but I thank you for spending this time with me and watching this. Send this to a friend. Share this. Tell them to meet us at a Weekend for Love. Make it a trip. Bring 4 or 5 couples together. That always happens. We're getting ready to head to Oklahoma City, depending when you watch this. And there's a huge amount of couples that just come from Atlanta. They come from Killeen, Texas. They come from all over, because you kind of get used to doing this as a chance for you to party, have fun, enrich the relationship, and fall in love again, and watch your friends fall in love again, and just have a weekend just for couples, y'all. So I'm excited. I look forward to seeing y'all there November 8th and 10th. But also keep a lookout for all the other events. Body Talk is coming. Self-Care Saturday is coming for women that really want to connect and have stronger relationships with girlfriends who around health and wellness. It's so many different things. And we have a Society 414 event, which we partner with our partners, Dwayne and Michelle. That's their event, Society 414, where it's just a date night extravaganza, y'all. It's one of the best dates in the country. And I say that with confidence, because Michelle does events for Ludacris, for all these different celebrities. You name it, she's done it, because she knows how to create. And she is part of Dwayne and Michelle are also our partners for Weekend for Love. So it's already set up. We're combining our talents that God has given us to make sure that you have a phenomenal experience, y'all. Go ahead and get your tickets. It's going to sell out. Sells out all the time. And I look forward to seeing you there in person. I will be teaching classes, and it's going to be fun, because I like to be live and energetic, and I like to keep it interactive, because you didn't come to hear me speak. You came to speak to your better half and make that thing do what it does. All right, I love y'all. Take care, and God bless.